Healthcare strategist Jared Holz joins us here on set for more. A breakout in the offing in biotech? Are you serious? Because you've been so negative for so long, and so have investors.
Yeah, I like it.
It's been admittedly a super tough sector to call, really either way, right? Because you've got hundreds of publicly traded stocks that in aggregate really don't sum up to anything, right? You got a lot of negatives, a lot of positives. I think for that reason, it's been tough to make a broader industry call. But I just feel like the sector's trading a little bit better, right? It's making higher lows. It stopped going down every single day. I mean, it was kind of like indiscriminately trading horribly for so long. And I think we're finally at the point where all the negatives are very well understood. We've talked about pricing pressure and competition and the amount of assets in the publicly traded arena. All of that, I think, has just been well digested, and it's time for a move higher. Maybe not a massive one, but certainly I'm less negative than I've been.
M&A is obviously it would be a huge, help to the biotech sector. What sorts of are there sectors that you're looking at? Is it certain companies that have assets in a later phase trial that are more likely targets? I mean, how do we sort of narrow this down?
It's been very, very difficult to predict. We've seen large public deals, ITCI and Blueprint have traded this year. We've seen private deals. We've seen domestic. We've seen China. It's been all over the place. Very, very difficult to predict exactly where the deals are coming from. But I would probably be biased towards larger commercial stage. I mean, pharma, we've all discussed this so many times. They're really in need of assets. They're in need of revenue. I would have to think that the commercial stage companies trade a little bit better on average.
Jared, so help us, or help and the folks at home understand the difference between what have been spec biotech stocks, and then at this point, I mean, is Gilead, what do we call them? Are they really a biotech company? I know they're a major part of the IBB, and so, but we really have seen an extraordinary run in a couple of these names, and Gilead being one of them. I'm just kind of curious, also definitionally, some of these mega cap biotech stocks.
Yeah, I think that's totally right. I mean, to me, Amgen, Gilead, Vertex, they're much more similar to the large caps than they've ever been, right? Because most of the biotech complex has traded very poorly. So you've seen this evaporation of market cap that kind of has led to the Gileads and Amgen separating themselves and maybe moving into that higher class. Gilead's been a little bit of a one-off because of all this excitement around the HIV medication, which is launching as we speak. So that's been one that's, been great.
I'm curious, the call for a biotech breakout, is that you? Are you keying off of what investors are saying to you in terms of sentiment turning? Are we actually seeing the sentiment improve in the sector?
Yeah, it's both. I mean, the investor conversations have been far more bullish over the past couple of months. I think part of that is talking about the pharma dilemma. Some of it is actual M&A that's transpired. Some of it's been better clinical data. The thought process. Now, I'm not a big believer that interest rates are super tied to this sector, but others are, and they think rates over time are going down. So it's a little bit of both. I also just look at the technicals, and it just seems like the index stopped going down when the market was up and stopped going down when the market's down. We're finally, I think, at a better place.
How much do you put into the patent cliff starting basically this year, and by 2030, $300 billion in annual sales are going to fall off patent protection? That makes the hunt for all of these smaller companies possibly a lot more lucrative for them. How much of that goes into your analysis?
A little bit. Just because we've been talking about this M&A fervor for so long, and to me, it's a little bit of a somewhat trite thesis because everyone knows this is coming.
In the future, when I ask you a question, say a decent amount. It sounds so much better.
In actuality, like what we should be seeing based on what you alluded to, which is to say the patent cliff being so severe and it's spot on, we should be seeing mergers of equals in pharma. We're at the point where that could be the only way out. Now, I don't think we will because of all the regulatory issues and whatnot, but this is one sector that has really not consolidated nearly as much as others have. Like when you look at airlines and industrials, large cap pharma has not consolidated nearly to that extent. And when you're talking about $200 to $300 billion in revenue, that I think is actually the way it should go. It won't go that way, I think, for obvious reasons. So yes, I think you have to kind of delve into smaller cap biotech to make that happen.